Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Power, and today's video I want to really discuss because I'm very passionate about this for you guys is the mishandling of the two Wally West situation. Because to me, I felt like they mishandled it in a really, really, really big way. But before I begin this video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, post a comment below, and let me know what you think about DC's mishandling of both Wally West, and I will try to give out a solution to you guys on what they should have done that would have made this whole situation better. Okay, so back in 2011, when they decided to reboot the 52 universes of DC, somebody in DC went into the drawing board and decided to remove the redhead Wally West from continuity. And during that time, they end up doing that. And we're going to get onto Redhead Wally West in a minute. And they end up creating Wallace West, or New 52 version of Wally West, who is Daniel West, who is actually the Reverse Flash, who end up joining the Suicide Squad, and some unnamed woman at the time. And when you first see him, he first appeared in the Flash Annual Issue 3 of June 2014. And when you read the story, it was set 20 years into the future. And when the older Barry Allen goes back to the past after whatever that universe was doing, we see Wallace West. Now, Wallace West was what you will call the stereotypical angry black male, where he was angry at the world. He tried to rob Barry Allen, and Barry Allen ended up catching him. And then Iris ended up getting out of prison. I mean, not prison, I'm sorry, the police station. And then Iris ends up trying to take him in, where he ends up still having getting in trouble with the law. And what ends up happening is that when his future self came back to the past, also it ends up giving him partial of the Speed Force um based off the fact that his future self end up giving it to him. Now, what I feel like they could have done better with this situation is that they end up bringing in Wally West, the redhead one. Now, the Wally West returned in 2018. I could be wrong on that, just to let y'all know. I could definitely be wrong about that. So please do not quote me or be like, oh, well, you're kind of wrong on that, because I might be. I'm pretty sure I am. But what ended up happening in that storyline was that he kept appearing in Barry Allen's like dreams or whatever, and he was trying to get people to remember who he was when he came out the Speed Force, to say he is coming. He was talking about Dr. Manhattan, because Dr. Manhattan at the time was pulling the strings of the DC multiverse, or so it seemed. And while he was trying to get people to remember who he was, no one could remember who he was. And he lost his family, he lost his two kids that he had. And this Wally West has been around for years. Everything about the Speed Force, everything that's in the Flash mythos was created off of him. It wasn't when Barry Allen was Flash. It was actually when Wally West was Flash. And the fastest, when the Flash went from space to Earth in over a nanosecond, if I remember correctly, I think it was a nanosecond. And that was one of the best speed feats in DC Comics. That was Wally West who did that. And for people to understand, Wally West is the fastest Flash, just to let y'all know that Wally West, the redhead Wally West, is the fastest Flash. But what, and back to the story at hand of that, Barry ends up remembering him. So now you have two Wally West, and then, DC said, well, let's make them cousins. What DC could have done, and I really wish they would have really in the drawing board thought about how they should have done it, was that number one, what they should have done is that when they introduced the redhead Wally West, instead of removing him from continuity, or you know what, you can take 52 Wally West, removing like continuity, and then you create New 52 Wally West, where New 52 Wally West is different from the redhead version of himself. And what they could have done, this is one angle they could have done, is that he ends up sleeping with some unknown black woman. We could say she's a prostitute, or we could just say she's a random co-worker that he had a one-time fling with. Um, and when he ends up having the baby, I mean, she ends up getting pregnant and having the baby. That's where you get Wally West Jr. from. Those, so those are things that DC could have done, but for whatever reason they didn't. And that's what frustrates me about DC. And this is why it frustrates me that they mishandled the situation and made it to where they're both cousins. And even though some fans hated the New 52 Wally West, DC could have made him more likable by simply just making him the son of Wally West. New 52 version, at least. New 52 version gets killed off, or kind of like what they did with Superman in Superman Rebirth, where they fused New 52 Superman with pre 52 Superman to create a whole new Superman. They could do the same thing with Wally West, where he fuses with New 52 Superman, creating a whole new Wally West and a whole new continuity for his story. That is all they had to do. But if you're new to Power Impact Comics, then please hit that like button, subscribe button, and I will catch you guys later. I still have some upcoming projects that hopefully I can get out for you guys. Peace out.